Alright, well, we're loaded up, trailer's ready, going down to southern Indiana to look at an Allis Chalmers UC, maybe buy it. About 310 miles. Figure it out. Alright, well, got it home. 1940 Allis Chalmers UC. It wasn't exactly as he described, but after driving 310 miles, I didn't feel like coming home empty-handed, so. But we'll get it unloaded and see about getting it running. So here it is, the 1940 Allis Chalmers UC. Got it home last night at about 7:30. It was about a 13-hour drive, 630 miles. Current fuel prices, it was about $300 in diesel fuel. But the trip went well. We didn't have any issues, no flat tires, no breakdowns. So that was good. So here it is. And I'll kind of show you around it, show you some of the good and the bad that I see, so what I know about it. Gentleman who owned it said he had owned it for about 15 years. Kind of bought it on like, sound like a old classified, maybe in the paper. So I'm thinking it may have been more than even 15 years ago, but at least 15 years ago he had bought it, and sounded like they raked hay with it every now and then, and it mostly just sat in the barn. So that's all he could really tell me. I kind of bought it sight unseen. I drove down there, and there's a couple things that weren't exactly what I were hoping they were going to be, but for the trip we were already there, so I bought it anyhow. A couple of the things that I wasn't aware of, and he apparently wasn't aware of, is this whole front casting has broken off this tractor at one time. If you look in here, this is a weld all the way up, and it goes across. And right there it is on the other side. It goes across all the way underneath, all the way here and across. So at one point in time, this tractor's hit a ditch or hit a tree or drove through a barn. Not really sure, but it that whole front end's been broken off at one time and welded back on, and it kind of cracked the bottom of the radiator, and that's been welded back together too. So that was something that I didn't know, and I didn't even notice until I had it on the trailer. So I can't exactly fault him. He may not have known about that either. One other thing is this left rear wheel. He told me it would need a tire, which it most definitely does. It is in tough shape. But all these light patches, it's got Bondo skimmed all the way around it, and it's crusty around the valve stem, and looks like it's got Bondo in it pretty thick right there, and these couple spokes are ate out pretty bad. So I'll have to do some work to that, but the sheet metal is pretty straight on it. Fuel tank's really nice. I believe the tractor's pretty original as far as components go. They had the carburetor rebuilt a couple years ago, but it's really not beat up. You know, your front hood's straight. It's got I believe an original temperature gauge in it. The air cleaner cap is straight. Not sure. Has this little slice in it. I'm not sure what that would really be for. If it was to try to pull some heat off the exhaust, or what that would be. Manifold does have a crack in it, and well, this is the part you flip for gasoline to kerosene. But the rest of the manifold is actually really good, so pretty happy about that. Looks like it might have an exhaust leak back here. Might need to make some new gaskets and plane that flat, get it machined. But you know, I mean, normal stuff. I'm almost wondering if this is not the original like manifold to the tractor, because it's not in bad shape. Hasn't ever had the block busted. There's no cracks that I can see. I'm not very familiar with these tractors, but it's got the original, the Donaldson air cleaner on it. Yeah, you can kind of see it's been welded up here, and the radiator's been welded there. So, you know, it's something happened, but the radiator core is really nice, so that's a plus. I mean, I don't know if you could ask for a much better core than that for as old as it is. The starter tank actually has some old rotten fuel in it. Not sure. See in there or not. It's, you know, it could be worse. Definitely needs cleaned out, but it's not rotted out. I've seen them rotted out on a lot of WCs that I've been around. Never been around a UC like this. Yeah, it's got some surface rust and stuff on it, but it's not all rotted out. I really don't know if the fuel tank even has a dent in it. I mean, it's pretty good shape. I don't know if the engine would have a casting number on it. It does look like it has a casting date, 2/15/40, which the serial number on the tractor comes out to a 1940, so I'm going to assume this would be the original engine for it as well, which is really awesome. Has a Fairbanks Morse K4B magneto. Not sure if this number would mean anything or not. It's got 384882. Assume that's just a serial number for it, but it looks complete. The cover for the spark plugs is on there. It has the original Allis Chalmers oil pressure gauge. Not a bad looking old machine. Oil looks good in it. Just down, a little bit brown. Looks like she hasn't had detergent oil in it probably ever. But it doesn't look like it has any moisture in it, so that's good too. You know, this stuff here, it's pretty tight, you know, it's not real loose. The water pump is tight. You crank it over, it seems like it has the same compression on all 4 cylinders, so that's great. It doesn't run right now. They said they had it running last fall, and it would only run for about 30 seconds and shut off. So I'm assuming something's in that carburetor again. Belt pulley's in good shape. It's kind of a bare bones tractor. Doesn't have a power lift, doesn't have a power takeoff, just has the standard belt pulley, which does have this gear shift for the belt pulley, but I'm not sure how it works or if it's broken. It's really loose, and the pulley spins free, and I, for the life of me, don't know. I have to do some research on how you would go about shifting that. Yeah. This wheel is in real good shape. Doesn't have any rot in it. This tire is pretty good. He had a new tube put in it at one time. Fenders are really nice as well. These are the later fenders that are correct for it, the wide ones. The front comes up higher, doesn't come down like a WC. Tractor does have its fair share of mud dauber nests on it. Came out of southern Indiana. Elizabeth, Indiana is where I bought it from. Pretty close to the Ohio River. I believe this would be the original seat. Kind of found it interesting that it's mounted solid. There's no shock or anything. I'm not sure if that's how these would have came. It seems like it. Doesn't look real fun to operate all day, but serial number on it is UC 4883, and I don't know if it's had a lot of work or not. I mean, the drawbar, like swinging, it's hardly worn, really. I'm not sure if the regular drawbar has been broken or cut. It has this piece bolted on top. I'm not sure if that would be factory or not. It said no power takeoff. It does have leaking rear wheel seals, which is pretty common on about anything I've seen this old. Old felt or cork seals don't hold up. This fender's pretty straight too, not bad shape at all. Not sure if this is a factory box or if this would be off a WD. Kind of looks like a WD, but I'm not sure. Like I said, don't know much about these. The clutch doesn't have hardly any play in it. The brakes work. I believe this would be the original 3-spoke steering wheel with the large center hub coated all the way in, and it's pretty well intact, so that's cool. The ignition kill switch, I'm not sure if this would be factory or not. It's pretty cool looking though. Just a little on-off switch, but that's pretty neat. The slop in the steering is really minimal. One thing it does have issues with, it seems, is the gear shift. He mentioned that to me, that it doesn't like to go in fourth, and how it's kind of hard to find fourth. It does look like somebody has either broken or cut this before, so it's been cut and welded here, or at least it has been welded here in the middle and there. So I'm not sure if somebody broke that or what, but it shifts really sloppy and pretty tough, you know. So I got to pull that apart and see what it looks like in there. Yeah, like I said, this tire has seen better days, so I'll be putting new to this machine tires on it. Some mud daubers in on the clutch. But it looks like it's been kept greased. This fender's solid, just the same. Universal joints are tight in the steering. The steering really doesn't have much play in it either. I mean, that's all the play that it has. I mean, that's pretty tight for something that's 82 years old. So I'll get working on it and see if I can get it running, and we'll see what happens. I think it'll be a a good old machine. Take a little while to fix it up, but I think I'm happy with it overall. Don't have too many concerns with it, so we'll see if we can get it running. Alright, so I'm going to pull this apart, pull this cover off. Actually, I may just get a wire and see if we got a spark out of this magneto. Like I said, this hasn't ran for a long time, it's probably a couple of years. They said they had it running last fall, but it was running and died. So I think it's got an issue with the carburetor, but I want to see if it got spark first before I dump fuel in it and go from there. Okay, so I got a spark plug wire and a spark tester, so let's see if we can get some fire out of this thing. Alright, well, looks like we got sparks, so let me go get some fuel and I'll dump some gas in it and see if it fires up. Not getting any fuel into the sediment bowl. So I'm not sure if it's plugged up in the tank or in the carburetor. Take this line off and try to blow back through it. There, we're getting it. There you go. Okay. Sure. Let's see if I can get it to flow into the carburetor. So we've got fuel in the carburetor. Looks clean. So we'll I'm gonna throw a block under this clutch pedal because I'm not sure about the gear shift, and it'll also help take load off the engine. Alright, let's see if it'll start. spaced out. Yeah, usually, you know what they're going to be. They're starting like 2 drinks.
Oh. Remember this when it was running, people started doing this?
Yeah, I don't like them. Yeah, it's like flooded. It's sparking every cylinder, or not, because we're sparking wires in my row sheet. Oh. Row sheet. So this is what we're working for with spark plug wires. We've got wire just wrapped around the plug, and this plug over here is loose. So let me tighten that up and I guess wrap the wires a little tighter. Try again. See this one? Pretty loose. Maybe just like wrap around it. That's kind of good. But it's not. That was loose. That was loose. Both these, so they have decent contact, I guess. Try again. Okay. Try again. oil pressure. It's running, not quite right, but it's running. It's got an intake leak, or it's just running rich. Something's not right with it. Spark related too. Not that one. Not that one. That one right there. Yeah. Cool. It runs. Alright, so we've got it running, but put it in first gear and it'll go forwards, but I can't get it in reverse, and the gear shift's really sloppy. So I'm going to pull the shifter out and see what the shift forks look like, make sure everything's lined up. Like I said, it's been broke here before, so I'm not sure if it's had issues, but we're going to find out. I'm missing a lock washer, so somebody's had it work. Okay, I pull this towel off. Makes you wonder if they had to do this a lot, and they cut that so they didn't have to pull it off. But I have no moisture in it. Again, that's my lock washer, so somebody has had it put. Yeah, that's an oddball bolt. Give me some paper towels. Don't go white one this time. Okay. Yeah, tear a couple off. Alright, so the ball has a little bit of wear to it, but it's not terrible. No, I'm good for now. Yeah, just set them there. Definitely got some water and old gear oil in there, but all the forks are lined up. Definitely a lot of moisture in there. Things don't look too bad. Not sure. I think that's just condensation. I don't think it's really pitted up too bad. Definitely needs some solvent in there to rinse it around, but all the forks are in order, so it's just probably just hard to find the gear. But now I kind of understand a little bit how it works a little bit better. So left and over, and right in the center. So that's good to see. I was expecting way worse. So we'll just put it back together and give it a whirl. See if we can drive it. What's good news? It's not broken. It's just a ported on. yeah, loose and yeah, it's not really worn out. It's got water in the transmission, which is whatever. Gotta expect that. It's not drying?
Not very good. Wait now.
I mean, you can take a heat gun or something to it.
Yeah, I've done it.
Okay.
I had to go put my cheese in these.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be good.
My first coleslaw is good enough.
You ended up making coleslaw? You bought it?
I forgot to have it.
Oh, so you didn't make any? Okay.
I heard this one. So this sounds good.
So are you making it or no? I can't really hear you that well.
Huh?
What are you saying? You making coleslaw or are you not making
I
coleslaw?
was planning to. I forgot about it because I had cabbage.
Yeah.
I needed to do. I just think we're gonna have cabbage.
Okay. I got you.
I just forgot to go get it because I was trying to get a hold of work, trying to get a quote on insurance for Dale.
Got you.
That's stuff that I have.
I've been in this whole puppy a few times. Yeah, it's not like 4 hours. It's just like if it was like a vertical shifter, it wouldn't be bad. But the fact that it's like 4 foot long makes it difficult.
Yeah, makes sense.
Why take all the rusty washers? You didn't even know I put mine. Went right in. Especially the orange rusty ones.
They have that for firing house.
Really? Stay some old shit too?
We're out of a bunch of old stuff. They're going to use that, so when the inspector comes through, they're like, oh, let's see the battery in here.
Ah, yeah.
We use the old stuff, I question it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good idea. I'm not saying it was.
It worked.
Yeah. Save all the stuff.
Whatever works, man. Oh, no. Take the roast meal.
What?
Roast dog. I think I see this Jen, the full tractor tension fan.
Kind of weird.
Fighting man, I could sit inside and be a lot warmer and a lot less smoky and choky.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Just have to know.
Yeah. It's her off days, so she likes to just kind of chill out in the room. I told her someday I need to stop at the couch with Wi-Fi. Maybe give her a shop cat or something. Right like that.
So just bring it outside.
Well, that's not, I was just going to say, well, ideally just take the cats and put them in the shop. That would be the ticket.
I might just like take them out for all these visits.
Oh, well, I mean leave them out there permanently.
I didn't cook, but that's okay.
Yeah. The one likes running out in the hallway, so I figure one day he just get out and stay out. But she said he's done it. He like gets out and runs, but he doesn't get far and he just sits there and cries. He's pathetic. golden, huh?
I did everything right.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the rails were gonna overhang so much inside of it though.
Oh, that kind of sucks.
It's like
What do you lose like?
yeah, there's just each side.
Oh. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. I thought they overhung like on that side.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
Yeah, it was.
It's here, so.
Is that a Mopar one?
No, this is a Tuxedo brand.
Yep.
No, I'm over like this.
Something interesting to note. It's like a vent bolt.
Huh?
I was talking to the camera about a bolt.
Oh, I don't know.
Got a hole through it. Got like a vent bolt. It's kind of weird because it's got a breather on the case, you know. So like, why would it have a vent?
Just make that special.
Yeah, somebody probably did that years ago. It's just, somebody gonna ask about that someday. I would guess somebody just put it in the wrong spot. But, you know.
You look so shiny. You look good.
I got it all back together, so we're gonna crank it up and see about taking this for its first drive. Well, I got out here trying driving around, and the inlet to the sediment bowl outlet of the gas tank clogged up again. So I'm gonna see about unclogging it here without getting gas in my mouth. Yeah, there we go. This old fuel line has definitely been on and off a few times. It's well rounded over. Alright, let's see if we get cranked up again. Now we got fuel. Thing looks pretty good out in light. I'm liking this thing. I'm liking it. Why, but it seems to crack off a lot better with the ether. Definitely needs new plugs and wires, maybe points. Might have spark looked good, but maybe not on all the cylinders. I'm not sure. There we go. Now let's see if I can find fourth gear in this thing. So found fourth. You gotta lift up and over. That spring in that shifter does serve a purpose. It's kind of gated, if you will. But there it is. Got it up, got it running. Got to do some work to it. Definitely got to work on these rear tires. And it might have an intake leak or something. You can kind of hear it's got a mist to it. So we'll look farther into that. But I'm happy with it. Oil pressure come on up too. Grease some greasers that haven't been greased, oiled some points. This thing hasn't seen much work in a long time, and hoping I can change that in the next few months. Maybe see if we can get a plow on it or something. So, thanks for watching.